What is up, everybody? It's Jason and Ian from the Real Estate Reserve podcast, hopping in here live. Don't worry, Ian, I didn't forget the theme music. Just figured we'd do a little quick intro real quick before we get started.
All right, I got nervous. That's all.
Let's go to the open and give us a sec. We'll chat soon.
Welcome to the Real Estate Reserve podcast with your hosts, Jason Balin and Ian Horowitz.
What's up? We're back.
All right. You tricked me. I'm nervous.
Welcome to the Real Estate Reserve podcast. We're talking about marketing for deals in these current market conditions, probably one of my favorite topics. So I might tend to blab on a little too much, but don't worry, we'll give you a chance to chat as well. I'm your host, Jason Balin from Hard Money Bankers, and sitting next to me, Ian Horowitz from Equity Warehouse, trying to bring you as much good quality content as we can during these funky times. Good news is, it seems like a lot of real estate investors we've been chatting with, although they're having a hard time finding good opportunities out there, they're still trucking along, doing their thing. There's still a lot of capital in the marketplace. There's still opportunities in the marketplace. So that's all a good sign. So let's chat about, and again, if you have any questions related to comments that we talk about on this show or any other comments related to real estate investing, marketing, finance, things like that, feel free to comment below and we'll hop on and we will answer those questions as we go through. So let's talk about marketing for deals in current market conditions. So a few things. So many real estate investors and business owners in general forget the concept of marketing, and they forget that marketing is number one top priority. Whoever has the most deals, the most opportunities, the access to the most capital is always going to win. It's that simple. Everybody's so reliant on the easy way. Oh, I'll just go on MLS, I'll go find a deal, or I'll call my local bank, or I'll call my local private money lender, and then they're out of money. I can't do any more deals. Oh, I can't find a deal on MLS, and they just give up. I mean, that's what's happening right now. So many people just aren't doing deals because they can't find the deals that work for them. And when I say can't find, that means they're not hustling. They're not out there. They're not marketing. They're not grinding on a regular basis to try to find deals. Depending on where we are in a certain market condition, sometimes deals fall in your lap. They're easy. A wholesaler calls you and say, hey, I got this really good deal. You want to buy it? I go on MLS and I find it. Maybe you go to an auction yourself and you have 5 deals to choose from that day or that week. But times aren't always like that, and specifically right now. But I will tell you that, being a lender, and we're still doing about 30 deals every month, I see the deals that real estate investors are bringing to us to fund, and there's a lot, and they're good deals, right? I mean, not all of them are great or good deals, but there's still a lot of good deals that I've seen out there, from dealing typically directly with homeowners, or sometimes buying them directly from from a wholesaler. And the numbers still exist, but the important part is you got to go out there and you got to do marketing. And we're going to talk about some different marketing strategies as we go through this show. Now, if anyone has a marketing strategy they want to share with everybody, feel free to comment below, or we can you can hop on the show as well. But there are plenty of deals out there, and in my opinion, marketing has to be your number one focus on a regular basis. And as the business owner and operator, it's your responsibility to take point on it. Either doing it yourself, and then eventually, learning it and then assigning others to do. But unfortunately, you're not just going to go find a marketing agency that says, "Hey, go find me deals." You got to do the heavy lifting yourself and find it.
Yeah, and I think part of that again comes down to knowing your primary market, whether it's local to you or it's out of state. Now is the time more than ever to understand exactly what you want. And I think you can go in and you can find good deals. We've talked about it a few times over the past few weeks, is that some of the best deals we've done to date have been during COVID. And I think it's because we know exactly what our investment model is, how we can identify deals, and how we can apply our resources to good deals out there. And, a lot of things that you speak about is, a lot of deals. I just got a text today. Hey, how'd you find that apartment building? Well, someone reached out to us about that building, right? And that all comes back to marketing. Whether you're marketing for properties or you're marketing for yourself, you're reaching out there, you're feeling, you're touching, you're talking to people. And don't take the word marketing as I got to spend money to do stuff. It's also your resources, your network, your everything else, picking up the phone, beating the phone, calling bankers, calling brokers, calling hard money lenders, calling whoever. Hey, do you guys got any shadow inventory? Are you foreclosing on anything upcoming? Is there a way we can work together on a deal going in the future? So there's a lot of resources out there, or a lot of things you can do to market, even if you don't have a huge marketing budget right now. And I think something that we're about to jump into, and I'd love to hear your opinion on this, Jay, is that I think we all can agree that we went down, we've all risen together from about 2000, let's call it 13-ish to about now. And most people in real estate are thinking we're at the top of some sort of cycle and we're headed back down. And I think as we go down, a lot of people are going to turn off marketing dollars. They're going to start cutting costs in all the wrong spots. And I think you more than anyone can explain why marketing potentially going into a down cycle is one of the most important things you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I think 24/7, 100% of your business, 360 degrees of your business should be going all in with marketing every day, all the time. I mean, over 50% of our business is spent on marketing efforts every day. I mean, this is a marketing effort, right? In essence, it's a video. Now, again, I mean, we do tons and tons of things. You don't need to do tons and tons of things. You can pick one or two and then set that up, learn it, automate it, and then work to the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one. But you got to go all in on marketing to order to find opportunities. I mean, think about this. Let's say you as a real estate investor or a wholesaler or a rental property owner needs to buy one property every month. You need to buy one property every month, and let's say you're fix and flipper. One property every month. Well, let's say you get 10 deals, 10 leads, 10 opportunities every month. Maybe your realtor sends you a few deals. Maybe you find a few deals on MLS. Maybe you go to an auction. Maybe you have a wholesaler that reaches out to you. Whatever it is. Maybe you do a half-ass marketing campaign and you send some direct mail flyers out. And let's say you get 10 leads and you got to close one deal a month. Well, chances are, if you're getting 10 leads and you got to close one deal out of that, those odds aren't all that great, right? You're probably going to pick up an opportunity or a deal that's just not all that great. You might do it because you need to. You either need to deploy capital, you need to get in the game, you got to keep your crews working, whatever the case is. You're going to do a deal, and you say, "Hey, I want to make a $30,000 profit on a flip. If I do this deal, I'm probably only going to make 20, but I don't have any other deals, so I might as well do it." Right? Like, the odds aren't great. Now, let's say you're out there marketing on a regular basis to try to find opportunities, and instead of getting 10 leads a month, you get 30 deals a month or 50 leads a month, right? Now, all of a sudden, you're 1 out of 20, right? What does that equal? 5%? Is that right?
Yep.
Like, that means, you only have to buy 5% of the deals that you do instead of potentially, a lot higher amounts. So think through it. I mean, the more you market, the more you do. I think I did a post recently about high wholesale fees, and I got a lot of feedback on it, which is good because I wanted to get feedback on it. And to me, I don't give a crap what a wholesaler makes, what a real estate agent makes, what anybody makes on a deal. If the numbers work, listen, if I buy a property for $100,000 from a wholesaler and they make a $100,000 fee and I want to buy it at $100,000, I'm happy. I don't care what they make. It's irrelevant. They deserve to make that money because they found the deal, right? They contracted the property originally. They contracted the deal originally. They went directly with the distressed seller, right? They worked directly with the distressed seller to find the opportunity. So they deserve it, right? That's what it's about. Doing the heavy lifting to find the deals. I mean, what is a wholesaler in general? A wholesaler is a marketer. They're marketing for a deal, they're upselling it, and they're keeping the arbitrage in place. So like that's what it's about. So I wouldn't even worry about that side. I remember we did an interview with a big real estate agent in Philadelphia, and he was like, times like this that we're in now is when we go all in. like really all in more than we're already all in. And the reason why is people are walking away from the game right now. Oh, I can't find deals. I'm going to walk away. The numbers don't work. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to go find something else to do. The numbers just don't work. So like nobody's doing the heavy lifting right now. And because of that, he's going all in. He's spending his marketing dollars. He's upping his direct mail campaigns to his farm areas as a real estate agent. Like that's what it was. So it's just an interesting concept that you've got to think about. I mean, not only is it important to be marketing nonstop all the time because this business is a numbers game, but it's just super important to make sure as the market softens, which I believe it will soon, and we can talk about that in a second. But even if it isn't softened, there's certainly less motivated real estate investors out there because they're used to being able to do things the easy way, just go on MLS and figure out what house they want to flip, which doesn't exist anymore. So because they're not out there grinding and trying to find opportunities, that could be you. You can do it.
Yeah, and I think now is a time more than ever that you can really see differences amongst asset classes, whether it's storage or realtors or single family operators or single family flippers, new builders, office space guys, multifamily, whatever it is. I think now more than ever, you can really see if you look at each asset class that everyone's in varying parts of stages, right? Realtors, there's not a lot of inventory right now because people don't want to go out and view houses because of COVID. So they're having a huge boom because the sellers are getting top dollar because there's not that much inventory, supply and demand, right? And think about it, if you're continuing to market and you can fulfill one of those needs, you're going to make more money right now. It might cost you a little more to acquire that person, but it's something you need to do and reach out and do. Now, on the flip side of that, we get phone calls all the time from commercial brokers and other people in the marketplace that say, hey, we have an office building for sale, or hey, we have this industrial building for sale, because people are skittish on that asset class. I mean, I think there was just a report today about Fauci talking about people returning to stadiums full capacity in the spring of next year. I'm not here to talk about the pandemic or any of that or political stuff, but that's what's being pitched out there right now. So that gives you some sort of future forecast that at some point the market is going to come back to some sort of normalcy that we're used to. And now might be a time more than ever if you can understand your asset class and you can be the one marketing and the one that has the power of having the image of being able to close deals right now or having available funds to do deals, you're putting yourself at a competitive advantage against everybody else. And that's when I say it's not just about marketing to sellers. It's not just about marketing to buyers. It's about marketing yourself as a whole. Even if it is, again, I'm telling everyone says, well, how do you find banks all the time that are lending? I'd pick up the phone and call and just talk to people and talk and talk and talk. And eventually you're going to find something that works for you. So it's not just about marketing. It's also about networking. And I think everybody could find opportunities in some sort of real estate right now, depending what your interest is.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of deals and there's plenty of opportunities out there. I mean, think about this. Think about somebody that owns rental properties with retail tenants in there, right? And they're potentially not getting their rents, right? They're potentially not getting their rents. They might not be able to evict, right now. So what are they doing, right? They still have a mortgage payment that's due.
Yep.
Right? They still have a mortgage payment that's due. So they're paying their mortgage and not doing that. You don't think that there's a motivation for them to sell a property quickly? Yeah, I mean, there's a motivation for them to sell a property quickly. And on the flip side of that, there's so many ways to look at it, right? On stuff like that. There's just I don't know. It's crazy to me that there's so many people out there complaining about, oh, the market's not good, or I can't find deals, or people are buying stupid deals. But like, you're right. But guess what? There's still an opportunity for you to sweep in as a broad whole. That is correct.
Sure.
If your business model is to go find 1,000 deals in the next month locally, you're probably going to have some challenges with that. But guess what? You only need to potentially buy a few properties over the next month. So try to figure out where these targets are, and just start marketing to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a way to protect yourself all the way through and through, no matter who, what you do in real estate. There's a way to protect yourself, whether you're the buyer, you're the seller, you're the wholesaler, you're the lender. There's plenty of ways to protect yourselves. We got a little bit of chatter going on down here talking with Terry Royce about high wholesale fees. And I always like to break his balls, but again, here's a prime example. One of the things you might want to do for us, when we were buying single family real estate heavy, I didn't see the need to go out and find the deals. We would gladly pay Terry his fee. Sure, we had to break his balls about it, but we would absolutely pay his fee because we didn't want to do that work. Our main mechanism was to be able to go out and build houses and get them done and get them completed as fast as possible. So now might be a time more than ever to really connect with your network and talk to the Terry Royces, the Matt Fullertons, the Sapias, all these guys that are out there, knocking out deals. They probably have some sort of inventory that you can pick up, and they might be just as motivated to sell because they don't want to be sitting on inventory now. So I think now more than ever is actually a time to value your wholesalers. When there's a flurry in the market and you can jump on MLS, sure, you can find deals. You don't always need to go to the wholesalers. I think right now more than ever, if they're the ones out there grinding the deals, it might be some of the best inventory you can find. So
and also like a few things, adjusting your marketing strategies right now. Anyways, like, do I think that direct mail to homeowners right now to sell quickly is the best option? Maybe not. I mean, I think the downside of that is, homeowners are a little bit more sophisticated now with a lot of online digital tools that they can just hire a realtor to sell at top dollar or even put a for sale sign up right now. Now that'll change very, very quickly. But like when it's a seller's market, you just need to put a property on, a for sale sign up front and sell pretty quickly. You might not want to spend your 50 cents a piece in order to do a big drop to homeowners. Now, I know a lot of big investment companies still do that. They're doing mass marketing with TV advertisements and direct mail and things like that. And I know they're doing that because they can hit the masses. And there's also something to be said about, hey, I don't want to hire a realtor. I don't want to go through that process. My house is a dump type of thing. But there's still lots of way to do it. I mean, think about this. This whole business is a long play. If you're trying to make a buck tomorrow, like really tomorrow, it's going to be challenging. I don't have advice for that. If you're looking to create a business, this is going to be a long-term business play. I'm happy to help. We've had a longevity in our business, and believe me, it didn't happen overnight. It took time over and over. So it would be the long play. Like Ian said, offline relationships. And yeah, some people might not be able to meet up with people right now, and I get it, but like offline relationships and online relationships with branding and things like that. Like if you're doing a marketing effort and you don't have any social credibility, what I mean by that is, let's say you're Maryland house buyers, whatever it is, right? Columbia, Maryland house buyers, and they go to your website and you don't have it built out. They go to your social platform, they don't have it built out. You're going to lose credibility, right? So this has to do with kind of front end marketing in order to get hype and to get eyeballs, but it also has to do with credibility. And you don't have to have done any deals or lots of deals to have credibility, right? You could still provide value to people without having to do tons and tons of deals.
Yeah. And I think right now, you bring up an interesting point. Is marketing to homeowners really a great way to do stuff right now? Probably not. There's a lot of, most people could just jump online. It's kind of like, and I wasn't in real estate then, but 06, 07, right? You could just throw something up on MLS, no matter what it looked like, and you'll sell it. I mean, I've seen people all over the internet saying, I threw $20,000 on this deal and I got 100,000 more, right? Like it's crazy right now. But where do I think there's those that are creative wholesalers or creative marketers, those that are looking, I think right now is a great time to be looking at like the self-storage world, the commercial asset world, tired business owners that don't want to go through this next cycle of shit that's about to hit us. And that's a true statement, whether you're looking for real estate or business, right? Like, I just know in the storage world, there's a lot of mom and pop owners, and they're probably going, oh, this COVID, this pandemic, I don't feel like dealing with this shit. I'm out. Or old, tired multifamily operators that have been family business for a really long period of time. They don't feel like dealing with all the new eviction laws that are out there. I think now's a great time to market to those types of people that are feeling this current pain in this marketplace. And I think if you can resonate with them, you can go a very long way. And if you're crazy like Aaron Foster, you will market to lighthouses and castles because he is always crazy deals.
So let's go through Jason Hewitt's question or comment, and then we could post Terry's as well, because, for the most part, right. What I see is wholesalers have zero clue about the ARV, and they take all the cream off the top of the deal. Terry's response is, Jason, they just ignore them. It's just like marketing for sellers. It's a numbers game. Some sellers want too much. You just obviously not going to stop marketing. Just sift through the turds and find the gems. And, for the most part, he's right. Like, in general, you're right. Most hosts, you got to look at it two ways. You got to look at the wholesaler side. You got to look at your side. Most investors look at the side of like, oh, there's no room in this deal. All wholesalers suck, right? On the wholesaler side, my job is to get top dollar, right? I'm going to pay whatever, if the property's worth 100, 150,000 ARV and let's say 100 as is, and most people are only going to pay 100. If I can sell it for 110, 120, 130, 150, 160, I'm going to continue to do that, right? That's their job, is to sell it for as high as they can. I mean, listen, I see a lot of wholesalers out there, it's closer to the DC area than the Baltimore area, that are still getting $40,000, $50,000 a pop. And I'm like, the numbers don't work, but they're still selling them, right? You can't blame them for that. That's just part of the game. And keep in mind, a lot of wholesalers that are attracted to only cash buyers, only in, higher end areas, their buyers have slimmer margins on that, and they're taking the risk. Listen, think about this. Let's say you're a wholesaler, you have 10 deals at any given time. As soon as the market shifts, right? Like, let's say we're here and you're still selling. Let's say as soon as the market shifts and it starts going down, all of a sudden you might not have any buyers anymore, right? So the wholesalers are putting up deposits up front. Hopefully they're minimal deposits, but back in the day when wholesalers were buying a lot of auction properties, they were typically putting up bigger deposits. As that market shifts, they might be stuck holding the bag, right? And you don't know what the wholesaler has typically till the end anyways, right? Like, a wholesaler might have it under contract at 100 and it might be worth to an investor 110, and they're trying to get 130 or 140. And let's say let's say they can't get it sold, right? Then all of a sudden the market shifts. Well, now that wholesaler might only be able to get 90 or 80, and they lose their shirt on a potential deal or walk away from it. So again, I wouldn't worry too much about bad mouthing a wholesaler if the deals don't work. Listen, if you go to a wholesaler, they present deals to you, they don't work, then move on to the next one, right? You know that their numbers aren't going to be worth it to you for your business model. So that's okay, right? There's nothing wrong with that. We all take rejection. Like, if you're not good at saying no, or you're not good at being rejected, then you're in the wrong business. You're going to be writing hundreds of contracts to distressed sellers over the time, or to sellers, and most of the time they're going to say no, because it's going to be a realistic thing. Flip it like this. You go to a seller and say, hey, I can pay $100,000 for your property, and they give you the finger and they say this property is worth 150. It's the same thing, right? Oh, well, I don't want to work with any real estate investors because they give me unreasonable offers. So again, it's just one marketing effort. Do I believe that you need in your toolkit access to everything? Absolutely. Distressed sellers, wholesalers, doing auction stuff yourself, going on to MLS, working with realtors. You need to have access to all that stuff. And the real investors, or I should say the real investors, that's not a fair statement. The investors that do a lot of deals on a regular basis, they have access to all that. And then, like Ian was stating earlier, as they grow, people are calling to them. He's got bankers that call him. He's got wholesalers calling them directly. Like, he's got access to people reaching out to him because he's built relationships with them over time.
Yeah, and there's some interesting conversation going on down in the comments section. It seems like maybe we should do a panel interview here to discuss this, but no, they're all valid points. And I agree with Terry. As much as I like to beat him up, I always joke about it, like the houses I bought for him and all the trips I paid for. But dude, it is absolutely 100% his job to get the top dollar. He spent the time to go out and market. If you don't like it, go out and market for yourself. And again, this goes back to the original point of this conversation is, if you're not marketing, you're stuck. You're at the mercy of these guys, right? Or gals, whoever may be doing it. If you want to go find off-market deals and you want to find the best absolute deal possible and you want to save $40,000, go spend time wholesaling or marketing for deals. Terry, again, unpopular opinion, wholesalers should charge as much as they can, and that's fine. That's agreed.
I mean, everybody should. That's what it's about. It's a supply and demand thing. Listen, if I could charge 10 points and a 20% interest rate to a real estate investor, I would, right? Like, if you're a flipper and you could make $50,000 instead of $30,000, you could. If you could get your contractor to accept $50,000 instead of a $70,000 budget, you would. If you could get a property, like, let's put it like this: if you wanted to buy a distressed property from a homeowner, and you wanted to buy it for like 50 and it's worth 100, you're not going to pay 100. You're going to pay 50. So the point of all of this is, let's tie this back to marketing for deals, because that's what this is about. You got to be proactive to do the heavy work. The harder, and like, yes, this is hard work. I don't want to state that it's not, but like, the more time, money, resources that you spend on doing this and on marketing, the better the deal is. If you want a marginal deal, go on MLS, potentially utilize a wholesaler right now, and get a marginal deal, right? And maybe you get a deal with a $10,000 profit, or do the heavy lifting and then get, then you can potentially get a deal with a $30,000 or $40,000 profit. So it's an interesting topic. It's an interesting debate, but that's reality. I mean, going back to how we started this show related to a numbers game, if you have 10 leads every month and you got to close one deal and you got to buy one deal, that's not very good odds. You're not going to have good opportunities. But if you're out there, you're getting dozens and dozens or 100 leads every month, distressed sellers, auctions calling you, wholesalers are calling you, realtors are calling you, you're going to find good deals. That's what it's about.
Yeah, and you just piqued my interest. I was thinking about, some of the people we've interviewed over this past year. I think we've done almost 50 shows. One of the guys we interviewed was Matt Fullerton, and his unique business model was to go in and help other wholesalers close dead leads. And I think now is a great time for, what's his name, Hewitt, Jason. Now's a great time, I think, to call around other wholesalers and say, hey, you guys got any deals you can't move? Is there a way we can work together on something, negotiate a fee? I think there's a lot of ways to work and market. Jason's obviously going to talk about conventional marketing. I always talk about offline, because that's really what I prefer to do, of talking to other people. And I think there's a million ways to skin a cat. And I think there's plenty of ways you can insert yourself. There was a question early on, Danny, I guess maybe. It was one of the first comments, Jay. What are the current marketing conditions now? And this all relates back to marketing. And really how you should be marketing your content, whether you're talking to people or you're writing it down. We've talked about this several times, is, we were on a long upcycle. We're probably near some sort of top upcycle. I'm not a doomsday prepper. I do think we're going to see a little bump in the road. Something's going to come down. Something has to break. These evictions are going to happen. Foreclosures are going to resume. People are going to have to start paying their bills again. There's going to be some sort of downhill slide. How deep that slide is, I don't know. I'm not going to be the guy to predict it. But what I am going to tell you is you're going to see some sort of market retraction over the next 12 to 24 months is my best guess. And it's going to be a time for people to come out and buy and do their thing. And, be the one that's out there marketing, be the one that's out there finding deals. And now is going to be a time, whether it's a long downhill slide and it's a great time for people to make money for a really long period of time, or it's a short little bump in the road and it's a dip in the market and people could quick scoop up a bunch of stuff make a quick hit for money over the next 12 months, then that may be it. But now's a great time more than ever to be prepared. And I know Jay's got a lot to say about this one.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to this topic of marketing. Doesn't matter what market conditions we're in. There's always opportunities. There's always opportunities, no matter where we are. And this is the time more than ever, as things start to shift, to make sure you're there. Like, think about this. Think about if you were let's just say you didn't have your own marketing campaign. Like, this is real life. Let's say you didn't have your own marketing campaign set up, and maybe you don't even have a website or social platforms or any credibility whatsoever. And you're used to maybe one real estate agent finding you deals, maybe going on MLS finding some deals, and that's it. Maybe some wholesalers finding deals. Well, guess what? If they disappear, you're out of business. You don't have anything. Now think about the other side of this. You have multiple realtors sending you deals. You're always on MLS, scraping MLS yourself. You know all the people at the auctions. You do direct mail. You have banks and other people that you have relationships with. You're big into RIA groups, so you know a lot of other real estate investors in this space. Now all of a sudden, let's say a real estate agent goes out of business, because that happens with the market cycle as well, right? Just like anything else, as markets shift, real estate agents can't sell houses because there's not as much as a demand for sellers, and buyers aren't buying a bunch of stuff right now either, right? So real estate agents go out of business because they can't, they can't support themselves with it. So all of a sudden, one marketing campaign doesn't work. Who cares? You move on to the next and the next and the next. You got to create marketing campaigns. And now more than ever is the best time to go in. And so many people don't want to put any money into this, right? There's money or there's time. You really got to be doing both, especially at the beginning. But, if you don't treat it like a business, that's what it is. If you're not treating it like a business, it's fine. Like, hey, let's say you own some sort of widget store. Or whatever it is, doesn't matter. And you go and you go out there and you get and you put your store up. Just because you put your store up and you're in business, you create your business entity, doesn't mean that you're getting customers to come into your store, right? Just because you become a real estate investor and you create your LLC doesn't mean you have deals. Deals are the most important thing. It's that simple. You got to find them, and it's not all that hard to find them if you take it seriously and you treat it like a business, just like anything else. It's got to be a business. The barrier to entry for real estate investing is very low in general. And that's not a bad thing. That should be a good thing for you, knowing that, the rest of the 75% of everybody else doesn't know what the heck they're doing, or, they're kind of luckily, get themselves into an opportunity here and there, and that's it. I mean, over the last 5, 6, 7 years, the market's been going up, right? Anyone can get in and just follow the chairlift up the mountain to do deals here and there. But as we're at the top now, it's going to change, right? Everyone's going to fall off the cliff that isn't prepared, doesn't have a proper business, and it's just going to be open. It's just going to be open to whoever's there, whoever wants it. If you already have momentum going into this, you already have a business plan or a business model or a business in general, you're going to have such a big advantage over everybody else, because you're already going to have the momentum and the setup, right? People, wholesalers, I'm telling you, the deals that wholesalers are selling for now, those numbers will disappear. Like the deals will work for you in the future, because there's not going to be 1,000 people that are bidding them up that want to do them. So I don't know. I don't really know another way to kind of state it besides that it's time to go all in on your marketing.
Yeah, 100%. And speaking of which, I think we've beaten this topic pretty good, and we've had really good conversation here on the side and down in the comments, which will continue, because these videos last forever. But I guess we have a little marketing piece that we're working on. Can't really tell you guys what's going on, but we're working on a more or less an all-day event coming up in January that, we're really going to explore all the asset classes that are coming up. So as soon as that information is available for release, it's really exciting, and everything's going to go towards a good cause. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. So cool. You got anything else? I think I'm pretty good, man. I think now's the time more than ever to market and find deals and be ready for what's upcoming.
Yeah, no, I think I'm good. Any questions you guys have, feel free to reach out. Jason at hardmoneybankers.com, Ian at equitywarehouse.com. Yeah, man.
All right. Well, sounds good. We hello, Joshua Grice from Sandtown over there. He's protecting the city. But yeah, man. So we're working on a big event coming up here in January, and we look forward to you guys. Catch up with you next week. And I know we're working on the monthly meeting Wednesday night in about 2 weeks. We should be doing
third Wednesday every month.
Third
We
Wednesday,
had a meetup group. We used to do it live. Now we're doing it virtual until further notice. We got back onto it last month, the month of November. You can check that out as well.
If our panel comes together, it's going to be a really good panel, and I think people can benefit from.
Wait, what's the topic again? Airbnb.
Airbnb. So I do want to promise I confirm my panel interview people, but I believe we're going to do a panel interview on Airbnbs, which now, again, there's another industry that people are saying an asset class inside of real estate. People are saying slumping is now the time to get in. How they done with their real estate investments during the whole COVID thing? Where do they think the future of Airbnb is going? So,
yep. All right, guys. Check you later.
Thanks for tuning in to the Real Estate Reserve podcast. Do us a favor and like, comment, and share our broadcast. It helps the algorithm